Internets, and welcome back to Learning with Sky, where today we're going back to school shopping. Coming back to learn something with me. So today we're talking about back to school because it's August, and here in New York that means time to go shopping for all the things back to school. And for the first time in pretty much my entire life, I am not going back to school in any capacity. Not as a student, not as a teacher, not at all. But that urge to go shopping for those amazing new fall clothes is still there. However, the budget for it is not. And so I started thinking about ways that I could go back to school shopping while spending either no money or very, very little money. So I put together a list of 5 things you can do to go back to school shopping, or really any kind of shopping, for $0 to as many dollars as you really want to spend. Did you know that back to school is the second largest retail shopping season in the United States? Second only to Christmas, according to the National Retail Foundation. And a whopping $75.8 billion is spent annually on back to school shopping. And finally, a whopping 17.2% of the whole year's retail sales happen during back to school. That is an insane amount of shopping and amount of money spent. So today we're going to cut a little bit of that consumption and talk about ways to save money during back to school. Tip number 1 is when you want to spend $0 on your back to school shopping, or any seasonal shopping in general. What I do and have done since I was a small child, thanks to my mother, is at the end of every season, I pack away all of my clothes into a case and put them away and try to forget about them. So when it's time to wear those clothes again, they feel like new. The best way that I can explain this to you is just to show you. Let's head to my closet.
This is my closet with all of my summery stuff and some jackets back there. And here we have our shopping closet, or our cases. So let's grab one and see what's inside.
So here I am with my case, ready to see what new shopping items that I already own and don't need to buy. So let's open her up, and right on top we have my favorite black jumper. I got this thing in Spain. Oh, I love it so much. Oh, yes. Ooh, and I have this beautiful thrifted blue, which is my favorite color jumper, that I actually bought at the end of last winter and never got to wear, which means it's actually new. Yes! I've got some of my favorite flannels, denim shirt, ooh, a cute shirt that looks very similar to one I pinned on Pinterest, and another flannel. Oh, there's tons of stuff in here, and it feels like I'm going shopping because everything feels new because I haven't seen it in a year. Oh, do I look fall? Do I look cool? The only bad thing about this is that everything gets a little bit wrinkly, and so I end up having to wash it all. But that's okay because it's totally worth it. It saves me a lot of money, but it is still August here in New York, and so I gotta pack this stuff back up, and hopefully I forget about it again when September rolls around and it's actually a little chilly. Yeah! So another way you can shop your own closet is using things like Pinterest and blogs and magazines to get inspiration for new ways to style the clothes that you already have. Tip number 2 is for those of us who either want to spend nothing or don't mind spending a little bit of money, and it's to accessorize. Typically, accessories like costume jewelry or scarves or belts tend to be less expensive than big ticket items like pants and shoes and dresses, but they can go a long way in transforming an entire outfit. You could take a basic t-shirt, a basic dress, or something you wear all the time and spice it up with different combinations of necklaces or scarves. You could even use lipstick, which is one accessory I never leave the house without. I love combining different colors of lipstick with different jewelry and different shirts, so let's check out how I do that.
Can we go thrift shopping?
What?
Number 3 is a personal favorite of mine, and that is a thrift shopping, or as they call it in the UK, charity shop shopping. There are so many benefits to going to a charity or a thrift shop. Number one is that you save money. And right now, when 80s and 90s style is coming back, you can get the same stuff you could find at a high-end store in a thrift shop for under $5. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you can even find really expensive, high-end designer stuff for really cheap. A plus for me is that no one else is going to be wearing the same thing. Charity shops are also great for the community and the environment, as they keep all those old clothes out of landfills and they eliminate some of the emissions from the production and distribution of new items. So basically, there's no good reason not to go thrift shopping. So this past week I hit up my 2 favorite thrift stores, and I went on the hunt for some trendy pieces and some stuff that's very classically my style, like this adorable button-down shirt that I've tied up at the waist. So let's check out some of the stuff that I got. You just saw were thrift shop finds that I would wear as is. But I also love buying things at the thrift store, like this hat, that I can DIY. If you're interested in how I actually DIY some stuff, come back on Tuesday for a DIY video. Because if I tried to put it here, this video would be as long as a feature-length film. Number 5 is for those of us that like to invest in 1 or 2 or 3 really great pieces at the beginning of a season. So for me, in the fall, those pieces are jackets and boots. I love them because they can change any outfit. I'll wear them 100 times and I will love them to death. Investing in things like that. Things that you know you'll use multiple times a week. So maybe that's a purse or jeans or shoes like me. Doesn't matter. If you want to invest, you find something that you love and totally spend your money on it. So whether you want to spend $0 or hundreds of dollars, I hope this video inspired you in your back to school shopping. Before we get to spending that green, I have a few shopping facts for you. Number 1 is that a shopper who first buys something off of their list is more likely to buy something unrelated later as a kind of reward. Number 2 is that if you don't want to waste too much money on shopping, wear high heels to the mall. In 2013, a Brigham Young University study found that shoppers in high heels made more balanced buying decisions, as they were balancing in those stilettos. Number 3 is that research indicates that shopping has a direct effect on the brain's pleasure center. It can flood the brain with dopamine the way that a drug does. And finally, 6% of the US population could be considered compulsive buyers. This means that they have a shopping addiction, which affects men and women equally. So now that you have all the facts and hopefully some inspiration, go forth and shop, my friends. But before you do, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'd love to see you back on Tuesday for some clothing DIYs, and again on Thursday for another Learning with Scott. And finally, don't forget to send me something for Project Young Inspired. Do you have a fashion blog? Do you love clothes, makeup, anything? Send it to me. I would love to share it on the site. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye! And they eliminate some of the emissions from just... And they eliminate some of the emissions... And they eliminate some of the Just go shopping. Yes. Before we get to spending today...